Imagine walking into a home where every surface is covered. The kitchen counters are buried under stacks of newspapers, old mail, and empty containers. Clothes spill out of closets and line the hallways. Boxes are piled high, filled with things that haven't been touched in years. Broken gadgets, souvenirs, or random objects that once seemed too valuable to throw away. To an outsider, it might just look like a messy home. But to the person living there, every single item tells a story. Each one holds a memory, a feeling, or a sense of comfort that's hard to let go of. This is what life can be like for someone living with hoarding disorder. Hoarding disorder is more than just collecting things or being a little messy. It's a serious mental health condition where a person finds it extremely difficult to part with possessions, no matter their actual value. Even items that most people would consider trash, like old receipts, empty boxes, or broken appliances, can feel impossible to throw away. The person often feels a strong emotional attachment to their belongings, believing they might need them someday, or that they're too meaningful to lose. When they try to get rid of things, they can feel intense anxiety, guilt, or even grief. For many people with hoarding disorder, the problem develops slowly over time. It may start with saving a few extra items just in case, or keeping sentimental things like birthday cards or old clothes. But as the years go by, the clutter builds up until it starts to take over entire rooms. The living room, once a place for family gatherings, becomes filled with boxes. The kitchen table disappears under piles of papers. The bed can't be used because it's covered in clothes or belongings. Eventually, it becomes difficult or even unsafe to move around the house. This buildup of clutter doesn't just affect the home. It deeply impacts the person's emotional well-being. Many people with hoarding disorder feel ashamed or embarrassed about their living conditions. They might avoid having friends, family, or repair workers come over because they fear being judged or misunderstood. Isolation often follows, making the person feel even more alone and stuck in the situation. It's not that they don't want things to change. They often do. But the thought of sorting through everything feels so overwhelming that they don't know where to start. It's important to understand that hoarding disorder isn't about laziness or a lack of motivation. It's a mental health condition with emotional and cognitive roots. Some people develop hoarding behaviors after going through major life stress, such as losing a loved one, experiencing trauma, or growing up in a chaotic or unstable home. For others, the behavior is linked to anxiety, depression, or obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. Keeping items can create a sense of control or comfort in a world that feels unpredictable. Another challenge is that people with hoarding disorder often struggle with decision-making. When faced with the question of what to keep or throw away, they can become stuck, worrying they might make the wrong choice. They may also believe their belongings have special importance, perhaps thinking, "I'll use this one day," or "this might be worth something later." These thoughts make it even harder to let go. The impact of hoarding can spread beyond the person's home. Family members often feel frustrated or helpless. They may try to help clean or organize, only to face resistance or emotional outbursts. This can lead to arguments and strained relationships. In more severe cases, hoarding can cause health and safety issues, such as fire hazards, mold, or blocked exits. Some people may even face eviction or legal trouble if their living conditions become dangerous. Even though hoarding disorder can feel hopeless, treatment is possible. The most effective approach is usually cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a form of talk therapy that helps people understand the thoughts and feelings behind their hoarding behaviors. In therapy, they learn new ways to think about their belongings, manage anxiety, and make more confident decisions. Instead of forcing sudden cleanouts, which can be traumatic, therapy focuses on gradual progress. For example, a person might start by sorting through one small area, like a single drawer or box, and work up from there. Medication can also help, especially if the person has co-occurring conditions like depression or anxiety. But the most important part of recovery is compassion and support. Friends and family can play a huge role by encouraging without judging, and by understanding that change takes time. Progress often happens in small steps. Maybe it's the first time someone can see their kitchen counter again, or the first time they feel comfortable inviting a friend over. These moments might seem small, but for someone with hoarding disorder, they represent enormous victories. Each step forward brings not only more physical space, but also more peace of mind and freedom. At its core, hoarding disorder is about much more than the clutter we see. It's about the emotions, memories, and fears attached to those items. It's about learning to let go of the past while building a sense of safety in the present. With patience, understanding, and the right help, people with hoarding disorder can reclaim their homes and their lives. The journey may be long, but recovery is possible. One box, one choice, and one moment at a time.